Good afternoon and welcome to the daily roundup here with the ForexAnalytix, and we've seen the euro going and slide back down the, let's say down the tubes. That's something more like the cable or sterling pairs, but we have gone and seen a decent little pullback. One of the things we discussed in the with ForexAnalytix, we have the European crossover, and one of the things we talked about was the range that we've seen here, basically from the mid-90s to 1228. And we said it's susceptible if you flip that lower, because we still had our, we're at the 50, spot at the 50% pullback. We still maintained for our bias chart was going to be the support 1152. But we said, hey, look, you know, if you flip this range, basically from here to here, you see that, and you flip it south, then that gives us 1150. But I said, hey, we'll probably get a little bit of an overshoot. We had our stretch target 1135. That's holding here. The only beef that I've got here, because I did want to go and pick up the euro on a nice little pullback, but as we've said many times before, still getting used to this new computer. Hang on, switching screens. It's pretty hard for the euro to get a leg up when you got the bunds making new low yields, new record low yields again today. So, you know, I keep saying the bunds are like a ball and chain on the euro. So it's pretty hard for the euro to get in advance if the bunds are moving to all-time highs in price, i.e. or all-time lows, or inversely, new lows in yields. And the euro's done a pretty good job of diverging from that as the Bund has moved higher. But, you know, we had some pretty weak German data this morning again. What else is new? And bear with me. Hang on one moment. Okay, just here. Bear with me. Okay, and we're just having a discussion in the chat room about Janet Yellen, so I just had to put my little 2 cents in there. But anyway, so it's a tough time for the euro then to go and do that. And I was mentioning today in the chat, so the euro is essentially succumbing to what we're seeing in the bunds. Now, I'm short the bunds, put on the trade about 2.5, 3 hours ago. And my stop is at 1177.87. We made another move here, and we got up to 85. Okay, right there. So I'm there. I'm close. We'll see. What I was looking at was this gravestone doji here on the 2 hour, but you can see here we've met it right there. Now we didn't take out those highs on a closing basis, but we're right there. So let's see what happens. But I will say that it has prevented me from picking up the euro, because I was going to pick up the euro. I mean, it had not been able to get even past 60. So I could have just stepped in at 52, stepped in at 45. So I've been patient. It's helped me from getting long the euro. And to get back to the main screen, we had this morning when we discussed on the the European crossover webinar, we had our bias chart support again at 1152, but we have our stretch at 1135. I mean, like, here's a 52. Could it go any further? Yeah, the stretch is 35. It looks like that was right at the low. And I wanted to go and pick it up, and we actually got a decent little bounce. If you're scalping, we rallied up to what, like 48 or something like that. But I was like, no, I'm gonna wait until I get some kind of confirmation with the bund. So we're just kind of sitting here, just ticking away at time. I grabbed a little minor scalp on the CAD, and I'd actually had actually got long the peso in the Asian session. I didn't think I got filled. I didn't even realize I got filled. I thought it missed me until I woke up in Europe, and then I took a quick gain, and I never got back in, and that's just my own dumb, I don't want to say about dumb luck, because it's my choice, because we had here on the bias chart, we had 1940, and we just about, I think we got to like 1940 and a half, while we're doing the webinars. I had a chance to get, you know, here we are right there. Came back, so I guess it was, what was this right here? 1941. I think it was just a little bit lower though, but we shall see. Let's see here too. Yeah, okay, so that was it. It dipped down to 1941.09, and I didn't get back in, and look, we've moved higher. Should have gone in and stayed with that, but it is what it is. So we've seen that mover here, and we had our bias chart resistance at 52, and the market did back away from that a little bit, and then it's reasserted itself and has moved higher. Dollar CAD has made another run up here, but that really has more to do with the crude oil. The crude oil has dipped to lows. We came into a decent little area of support. We'll go back to that screen quickly. So you can see here, we've taken this dip, and there's some a little bit of volume in here right there. You see there's 54. I thought we might kind of slow down right here around the 60, 50-ish, but we've dipped lower. But you can see right there, you see there around the 54.10. Even if you get to this little low right there, you see that? It's 54.08. And we've actually come down. We're starting to pick up a little bit. We picked up about 20 cents off those lows, maybe 25. That might keep the CAD from dollar CAD from moving too much. It's already had a very nice run. Hang on. And you can see it here kind of easing back just a bit. Now, the dollar CAD and crude oil don't always trade in sync. I mean, I think sometimes we've seen it trade in sync as close as a 93% relationship. You can see we came right in here. And then maybe as low as 68. So, but we are seeing this. You have a little bit of a tweezer top on the 15-minute. We backed off. I caught a little bit of a scalp here. I was fortunate to get out. Then we rallied higher, and haven't really paid too much attention to it. But I did notice it was going higher, and still crude was dipping. So, but I haven't done anything with it since then. I've just kind of kept my peepers on the bund, because if the bund turns around, I think then we could get the euro to really take off. But right now the bund's under pressure, about 8 pips from getting stopped out on that short that put in about 2.5 hours ago. Dollar yen, really a disappointment here. We talked about this yesterday. I thought we might be able to make it up to 709. We had that level here on the 2-hour chart, and 718 was the 50% back. And here's the 709. But the Hong Kong issues that really continued away, and I thought, okay, well, maybe in Asia we can get another jump here, and my tick is just above 709, but that was not to be. The whole thing with Hong Kong is still weighing on this, and we've seen this, although we did see a little bit of a move up here. I think Blake picked it up around the 61%, right at 80, caught it right on basically bottom ticked it, and we moved up here, but we've since has since gone and paired back on here. So I hope to go in and grab that in. So I'm kind of taking my time. It's kind of worked out okay, except for the bund. We'll see. I'm using the bund basically as a indicator here for the euro. If we can get that bund to turn around, I think we can get this euro to jump up. Now, currently the euro is under pressure because, as some of the guys in the chat room mentioned, which is correct, people were trying to go with this breakout about 1228. You know that we've had that as our resistance. Initially, we had 1211, and we had said in the chat room about it being 1228 here, as you know, just above that. And that has held for the last couple of days. And I think people were just jumping in thinking, okay, we're going to take off. We're going to take off. We're going to take off. So once again, as we talked about it this morning, I said, hey, look, if you look in here, from here to here, and this range has been going, you see how long that range has been? And you just measure the range here, drop it down here. So that would take us to 50, maybe even a little bit lower, and 35 is our stretch. So we're just kind of hanging around here. I don't think you have to rush into the euro. It's certainly under pressure right now. I do have some additional support at 27. So I thought, hey, if they dip down to 32, 30, I was going to jump in no matter what. Well, it came down towards that 35, and the boom was still holding up. So I said, well, I'm just going to wait. I'll try and be patient, wait. So that's where we stand here. Nothing else remarkable that I'm seeing here. We'll go on and jump into the spreads, the cross rates, that is. We do still see continue to remain to see continue to see the Aussie dollar, in this case Aussie yen, that remains under pressure. I guess that's what I was trying to say. It didn't make much sense. Continue to remain, but anyway, it does remain under pressure here. Just can't get a lift to save its life here, and Guppy still. We gained a little bit of a rally here. That was yesterday, and we've since fallen even below this little bit of a bias chart support here. The only thing is kind of holding up against the only currency pie that the sterling is actually gaining any kind of ground on, for the most part. Could be against Kiwi, but this is here with the sterling versus the odds. So it's kind of holding its own. It certainly isn't going gangbusters if you think about it. The odds fallen against everybody except for the sterling. It's just barely hanging on to what little gains it does have. Euro yen, you can see here, strength of the yen, certainly taking its move here. We saw that move here yesterday, and we've since gone a good chunk of the ways back. Support now at this point, you'd be looking at 1784. I think we've almost made it there. I haven't really paid too much attention with the. See right here, 1784. Actually, we got as low as 1783. We kind of picked up a little bit. Not a whole lot though. Not a whole lot. And let's see. Just going. Okay, just saying hello to one of the treasures just popped in the chat room. But as I mentioned, other than the yen being strong and like I said, a little bit frustrating because I really thought that I was going to be able to grab some dollar yen above 107. I'm not even, I'm not going to say that I thought it was greedy because it looked like we're heading that way. But as they say, a funny thing happened on the way to the Palladium, and that's with this Hong Kong, this whole situation in Hong Kong, and it's really keeping a lid on advances for any of the rates involved with the yen. Obviously with the dollar, same thing here. I thought we could have at least made it up here to about like in the upper 80s. And if the market looked tired, then I'd say, okay, I'll go and take a short, and then I'll just add more if it gets above here. Well, that was not even the case. I mean, we just, this thing just, the best it could do was a 60, lower 60s. And then since then, we've rolled over and had a decent fall if you look at it. Here with the peso, resistance is going to come in now right there at 65, 65.84. Just falling just short of the 65. I thought it probably would have even moved even higher, although, like I said, grabbing this thing basically right almost on the lows in Asia, and then to give it right up here and then not to get back in. And I have to say, at least it came back. So I had the opportunity to get back in. I didn't take it. Now, that being said, it didn't react immediately. If you look here, you see we even had a medium-legged doji here, or not even what you call medium-legged, but small little doji. It looked like it was going to weaken a bit. So if I'd have got in, I wouldn't have gotten a whole lot. Because I'm saying is I would not have ridden this thing. After this little bar here, I myself wouldn't have ridden it. So, but obviously for some people that would have stayed long, would have been a pretty good move. We talked about that yesterday. Remember, we talked about the peso, and at the time, remember, there was a 38% is 1943, and I said, hey, look, you could take the 1942. Would you be happy to take a 10 ticks full lower from 52? Heck yeah. So we mentioned that. I even got a better price. We talked about it dipping down here into this 38, 37 area, and if it dropped to 32.5, which is probably unrealistic, but anyway, that's about it. Nothing else. Like I said, it's a relatively quiet August day. You have to go in and catch your moves when you can, and that's about it. But thanks for joining us here on the FX Daily Wrap-Up. We'll catch you tomorrow. As I said before, consider taking a 10-day trial with ForexAnalytix for $1. Get a chance to navigate through the site, take advantage of the mobile program, and as I mentioned, all the different analysis, whether it be macro, basic technical, harmonics, Elliott wave. But to me, like I said, the greatest strength, though I've said it before, say it again, is the chat room. So thanks once again for joining us, and good luck with the rest of the slow trading day.